see what I see.
Don't Breathe. I tell you what, this year has been surprisingly good for horror movies. I don't usually see a lot of horror movies, but as uniqueness goes, these horror movies have been great. A lot of the ones I've seen, minus the ones I saw in January. Don't Breathe is a very unique, interesting story and a very well done horror movie. And I like that the horror genre is getting some classy titles that you aren't embarrassed of. So what you get here in Don't Breathe is there's this set of kids in Detroit, which by the way, Detroit, anytime Detroit is in a movie, it's just gotta be one of the worst places on the planet to live. Just the scenery and everything, it just looks horrible. But anyways, there's these kids in Detroit, they're robbing houses to try and get out of Detroit. And they hear about this blind guy who apparently has a lot of money he's sitting on. And they're like, hey, easiest score ever. They break in there, turning out the blind guy, played by Stephen Lang just brilliantly, is a little messed up in his own right. And he's like an ex-Army Marine. And basically they get trapped in this house with him, and the rest of the movie, pretty much all of the movie, is about them trying to escape this house. He locks them in there, and it is creepy as all get out, and they do a great job of building suspense. That is the best part about this movie. You are on the edge of your seat for almost the entire movie. They just do really clever tricks that make you, Don't Breathe is right, they make you be holding your breath. A lot of it is, you know, them hiding in certain areas, trying to be as quiet as possible, because this guy, he can't see, but he has, you know, heightened sense of hearing, and they do a little bit of the smell too in there, but it's just a really cool way. And another good thing about this movie is they build a decent story around the characters. You get some interesting backstory, and you kind of feel for the characters a little bit. But Stephen Lang is a monster in this movie, and he doesn't talk a whole lot. There are some scenes where he talks, and his voice in this movie is so freaking creepy. It is amazing. But, you know, there are some cliches in this movie, and the overall story of the movie, once they get in the house, there's pretty much not much of a story left. It's just them trying to get out of the house. And then this has the normal horror cliche of a guy that just will not die, especially towards the end. There is a lot of things going on with both Stephen Lang's character and the characters that are surviving that you're like, okay, come on, how are they still up walking around? So that was kind of a letdown. They do throw in this other storyline that you don't really know when you go into it. It's a little graphic. And I don't know, I mean, it gave the movie a little more story, so I didn't absolutely hate it. But then the worst thing they do is, of course, leave it open for a sequel. So you know they're going to try and we're going to get 400 of these, and guess what? The uniqueness of this movie is going to wear off like that. Within 2 years, we'll probably be sick of Don't Breathe. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. Stephen Lang was amazing. The other people in this movie were pretty good. Some of them were kind of cheesy, but the main girl in this movie, she was good. I enjoyed it. Another horror movie that I enjoyed. I'm not going to say it was the greatest thing ever. I liked The Conjuring 2 a little bit more than this, because this is more of a kind of a slasher kind of film, whereas The Conjuring 2, I like that kind of type of horror story better. But this was definitely better than Lights Out, which I also enjoyed, so I'm going to give Don't Breathe a 4 out of 5. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to keep up to date on all my videos, click this glorious subscribe belly button. If you want to see my last few videos, click over here. This has been a Randy Cage production. Peace out.